Let me give some very good PR advice to anybody in the old school tabletop role-playing game community. Right now, complaining about the creator of the tabletop role-playing game Shadowdark is the worst fucking possible thing that you can do. You know how people say, well, I'll die on top of that hill? Well, guess what? On top of that hill, you will die. She is outright untouchable, socially, and I'm hoping many of you are socially aware of this. She has prepped for you in ways you cannot understand, and I give her credit for it, and so should you once you recognize it and back off. And guess what? I respect everything she's done, all her effort. I don't care. I don't care how we perceive it. She has success. Good success. Success that in many ways is earned enough that no matter what criticism you have of her, she deserves some credit. And enough respect can be given to her that should make it easy for you to step back and not criticize. Look, in 5 years, have at it. Right now, you will lose the argument even if you are right. And I want to make it clear that I'm not supporting any criticism of her that is popular, well-known, put out by somebody. I'm not promoting anything. Me, Condor DM, I have absolutely no issue with this woman whatsoever. I applaud her success. Good on you. And I'm starting to run 5e, so you never know. I might touch it at one point. I can't promise. I'm not going to make a promise that I'm going to run Shadowdark, right? I'll be real with you. But I don't care. Even if it's not my cup of tea, I just don't care. It's not an issue for me. Have fun in the tabletop role-playing game hobby. If you like Shadowdark and the creator, have all the success you can have. Because here's what really happened. See, the majority of customers are silent. That's the truth. So when you're, say, a YouTube content creator and you're serving the audience, sometimes, when you get a few thousand people, you might think you're doing really good. You might think that's good for you. But what you might not realize is you're turning off the vast majority of people because there's a silent majority. And, if you're making content, outside of selling games, you might not know about that silent majority, but they can appear at any time. And if you pay attention, you'll realize, oh, there they are. And where did they show up? They showed up for something that you didn't promote, you didn't talk about, and that's why they're not following you, say, on social media. So why people that support the OSR in the old school thought they had things down, they didn't realize that they were failing to serve a silent majority. And many customers were people on the outside of the OSR, not happy with what it was serving, staying away. But then here comes Shadowdark, and it does a few things many other OSR games are not doing. And what happens? Silent majority shows up. And what, you're going to be jealous or mad or hold that against her? That what you are doing isn't the most popular thing out there? There are some OSR content creators that I imagine are not happy with her or not happy with her success because they've worked hard. But yeah, they worked hard to appease a minority. They just didn't realize that they were appeasing a minority in the old school that has gotten their way for over 50 years. Here's the woman creating Shadowdark not serving that core group that has had their way for over 50 years. And what does the majority do like they do all the time to that group? When AD&D 2nd edition came out, they ran from AD&D 1 to 2nd edition. We got the majority. When 3rd edition came out, they ran away from old school gaming because of that core, period. 2nd edition still held on, but it was tight, it was hard. AD&D 1 games were falling off a cliff. And so what was the OSR? Another example of that minority control getting its own way for a long time. So you're blind to reality. You're not even acknowledging that there's a silent majority. So somebody comes around the OSR and says, you know what? I could do something OSR, old school, but I'll do a few things that you do want that the rest were not doing. And people are like, fair enough, we're the silent majority, we'll line up and pay for your game. To me, Shadowdark is a great lesson to the old school overall that, hey, your hardcore way of wanting things, exactly as you want them, it does not sell to the majority. And so your game designers, people trying to make money off you, have to suffer because of that. Because if they make anything away from what you want, you don't support them. A lot of you will get mad at 5e people for being sticklers to their game. But a lot of you out there in the OSR will not support somebody if they make something that's away from what you want because you're so used to getting your own way. In many ways, the 5e crowd reflects you. I mean, even when I see their censorship, you might say that's political, but I seen the old school do exactly the same thing like decades ago. So to me, it's almost a reflection of the old school, some of the negative elements you see in the 5e area. I'm hoping that there's, all the same negative elements aren't there because I'll be directing some of my content towards, 5e, the new school. Anyway, give up the battle. Let her have her win, and just shut the fuck up and move forward.